All right. So we got another set of data here. What's the very first thing we're going to do?
We're going to select them.
We're going to select them.
Then you go to X, Y scatter.
Why does number 4 say divide by 0?
Because apparently in that function we're dividing by 0, which is not allowed.
So it means there has to be a numerator and a denominator.
That's a pretty strong indicator
It's rational.
Whoa.
that it's rational.
That is not a good line.
Whoa.
Okay?
It's an
This
absolute
is
value.
No, that's not a big deal. It's rational. They're just trying. It's just trying
This-
to connect. It's exponential again.
So in this, stop. So in this one, the thing you really can only trust, is that this guy right here, it's doing that because it's saying divide by 0. So it's putting that at 0. Okay?
Clever.
All right? But that piece of information is important, and I want to keep it in the list. Okay? All right? So if we go through our list of conic, exponential, logarithm, polynomial, radical, rational, other, do we have a natural favorite?
Rational.
Rational.
Yes, sir.
Rational. Okay? Y equals. Does this seem to have a horizontal asymptote?
Yes, it does.
Where is that horizontal asymptote?
At 0.
At x equals 0.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean about the rational equation?
That it has
No
denominator and a denominator.
It has a denominator and numerator, but every rational equation has a denominator and a numerator.
no zeros.
Okay?
The
Yeah.
denominator
It does have a 0.
The denominator is not
Divided by
1.
0.
The denominator what?
It's not 1.
The denominator is not 1. That's
The
not.
total power
0 is 2.
is even.
Nope. Nope.
Not equal. Over 0.
Nope.
Less than 0.
Less than 0. The total denominator is less than 0.
And it can be x. What times?
Okay? Do we know what kinds of factors do you think there are in the denominator?
A lot.
Small. X squared. Linear. X squared.
X squared, not so. If I put x squared in the denominator here, when will I be dividing by 0?
When X is 0.
When x is 0. Am I dividing by 0 when x is 0?
No.
So that's not a good denominator.
X plus 4. X plus 4. Yeah.
X plus 4. Is x plus 4 a good denominator?
Yes, it is.
It is a good denominator. Should it be of an even degree or an odd degree?
Even.
How do you know?
Because they both go down and they don't go like differently.
All right, so shall we pick an even number?
4.
That's a dumb even number. Okay, 2 is a much better even number because 2 is the first one. If it doesn't work,
Then we go 3. We
Oh
go
Bet.
So I should realize
Yeah.
this is being recorded.
right. Okay, so, okay, good. Now we've got, do we see any other vertical asymptotes? I don't. Do you think there might be any others? If there were, I would have included the domain so that they would show. All right? But remember, it's also possible that factors in the denominator that don't that don't show. Okay? Another thing, but you can try and undo that part of the equation. How might you undo that dividing by x plus 4? Yeah, take this number and multiply it by x plus 4 squared and see what you get.
Ooh.
How's that happen?
Uh-oh.
Well, yeah.
Actually, that's a fancy product.
How does this look to you guys? How do these numbers look?
Better than the dice.
Almost like the x.
Whole number, whole number, whole number, unknown. Whole number, whole number, whole number, whole number, whole number, whole number. Is this a whole number?
Pretty close.
Pretty close. Whole number?
Yes, sir.
Pretty close.
Whole number?
Pretty close.
Whole number?
Yes.
Whole number?
Yes.
Whole number?
Yes.
In fact, is there a pattern to these numbers?
They're all whole.
They go down and go up.
Oh yeah, when they hit
Negative 10, negative 9, negative 8, negative 7,
Negative 6.
negative 6, negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2,
It's a
negative
line.
1, 0.
1, 2, 3,
The line is
4,
a-
5, 6.
OMG.
It's a
So
parabola.
that means they're.
No.
Rich,
So
it's a line.
that everything's linear in the numerator.
That means once I get rid of that x plus 4 squared, it's linear. What's the equation of that line?
Why?
Well, does negative 8 equal negative 10?
Negative
X minus.
X minus 2. This is the line x minus 2.
X minus 2 over X.
X minus 2 over.
X plus 4
X plus 4 squared.
You just figured it out.
So, all right. So we now let's check that. So we think it's x minus 2 over x plus 4 squared, right?
Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, that's good, right? Okay, but just so that so that it's on the video, so how you calculate the error, right? How do you calculate the error? It's equal to the absolute value of this minus that.
How do we know? How do we know it's rational?
Anyone can feel free to answer that question.
It looks
I
rational.
think we're kind of close.
It's
Closing in on the answer.
I agree with you.
So percentage error is the error divided by the y. Which, when your error is 0, is 0.
But what happens if it's unknown?
That doesn't count then. You can take that one out. Okay? And you can take this one out too, because you're not allowed to divide by 0, right?
Correct.
And then so down here you write average. And then you select, once you get parentheses, you select all that stuff. And you want all of these things, you want all of these things to be presented as percentages.
It's disappointing.
So my percent error is 0.3.
That's terrible.
How can you have a negative percent? It's not even an A.
Where do I have, oh, good point, thank you. Okay, I did something wrong. Thank you, Stephanie, you are a goddess. You have to do absolute value here, because we're dividing by the y coordinate, and that could be negative. We don't want to get any negative numbers over here.
Yes.
Okay? So I need to make sure I bring in absolute value to all of those things. That's going to increase my error. If you see those little numbery things, a lot of times that means I'd like a little bit more space. Or I've got divide by 0.
Oh.
Okay, so my new answer is 0.31%, which is an
A plus plus.
Wait, how is 0.020 and 0.02? How is there a difference?
because there's some other further decimals in this number. Okay? And it's a small number. Okay? Does that make sense to you? All right, any other questions? I'm about to turn the recording off.
No, we're good.
I'm all set.
Stop!